considered a very good whole body cleanser. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about red clover being a cleanser. I don't think it moves the lymph quite the same way that red clover does, but I think it has more of an action on the liver and the spleen, and maybe even the kidneys. Although red clover kind of touches on that, I just don't think it is deep. I think there's something about alfalfa and cleansing, I think, gets a little bit deeper into liver spleen territory. So I've used it for that, but almost always I use it with red clover. Any kind of acne, um, topically and or internally, alfalfa is really good. It's also good for the eczema and the rashes of unknown origin. Even with little kids, topically, it's very good. It is anti-inflammatory. And I think it's a little more anti-inflammatory than red clover. But again, I think red clover moves the lymph and blood better than the alfalfa does. I mean, you can get like, I don't know, something crazy like 25 or 30% of your vitamin K a day
Well,
from alfalfa. So I don't, I'm not concerned about the blood thinning, the coumarins and alfalfa because of that, unless the alfalfa is moldy. Again, you want to stay away from anything in the clover family that's got powdery mildew on the leaves. Um, I've had clients that we've used alfalfa for to increase fertility, or
hmm.
like I had one client who had had trouble getting pregnant and really wanted to do a cleanse with her body to make sure the birth control pill was all gone. Any effects of the birth control pill was all gone, even though she'd been quit maybe 6 months or maybe longer. And so she did alfalfa just by itself, and then we were going to add in red clover for the fertility. But by the time she got finished with the alfalfa, she was pregnant. And I've seen that happen a couple of times after being on the pill. So I really, from the clients I've had who with fertility issues, I really feel like the red clover helped process hormones a little bit better through the liver. Um, Again, I love to combine it with red clover. Um, it's also useful for urinary tract infections. It really does help reduce inflammation in the bladder. Um, Helps reduce inflammation in the kidneys. I just think it has a little more anti-inflammatory activity, especially on for the skin and the pelvic area than red clover does. So those
Hmm.
are my big uses for alfalfa.
Yeah, well, I'd say so. I wrote a whole paper and then I lost it on my computer somehow, like 20 pages on alfalfa, and I couldn't recover. It's kind of interesting. It comes in, it's not that old a remedy. I mean, first of all, it's not native to North America, and it was introduced as a crop after the Civil War, and so both red clover and alfalfa come from the old world. And yeah, we see them naturalized everywhere. That's cool. So they're at home here. That's nice. And in the late 19th century, they first began to use alfalfa as a remedy. And indeed, it's kind of a general cleanser. And the way I came to understand it, it's like maybe the early literature on it. Yeah, there's all sorts of active ingredients, but there's like one that stands above the rest. And a lot of it is kind of like a nature's vitamin pill, like dandelion is. Dandelion has a lot of specific properties too. But there's a substance, maybe a saponin, I'm not sure, but it breaks down proteins in the intestines, and it's really good for protein digestion.
Yeah.
And
And I
yeah,
think that's the enzymatic activity I was talking about.
okay. Yeah. Well, so if you break down proteins, then you got less allergies, less antigens, less reactions to all sorts of things. And I can't help but feel that this substance, or perhaps it takes a burden off the liver by breaking up proteins before they get to the liver, or else the enzymes actually go up and into the liver from the digestive tract. And so they really help detoxify by breaking down proteins, which is just one way to break down toxins. Actually, amyloid